I had actually heard for many years in this last decade about the coming changes, like global changes energetically, and the idea that there would be many people that would not be transitioning into the future world. I did not know at the time that my dad or his dad would be among them, or my mom's father either. But now we are arriving to the beginnings of like the new earth for those of us who have stayed.
Yeah. And I think that, what we both just described is also shows our faith in something greater than ourselves, in a plan, so to say, the natural unfolding of things in life.
Hello and welcome to Diamond Bridges. I'm your host, Irene Diamond. Now, both of you have lost parents prematurely. Eric, your father committed suicide not that long ago, just a few years. And it was very calculated, right? Because of his medical condition.
Mhm.
Um, and Helene, your mother died from obesity, suffered from a multi-generational compulsive eating disorder. Do you think her passing was subconsciously calculated?
I do. I think in a way she also committed suicide. I've actually never said that before, certainly not publicly, but it was much more covert. And maybe that therefore it is calculated. She actually died of appendicitis, which is very rare, but she didn't go to the hospital when she had this abdominal pain. I think a lot of people who believe in natural medicine don't always respond in the way that normal people would maybe go to the hospital if they have severe abdominal pain. And I recommend that everybody do that actually, because abdominal pain can be dangerous. And in this case, it certainly was. And I don't know if it was calculated, but I also don't know if we can decide when it's our time to go, and whatever means we go, we die. But she was tired. It was a struggle. It's a real struggle.
Makes sense. I had actually heard for many years in this last decade about the coming changes, like global changes energetically, and the idea that there would be many people that would not be transitioning into the future world. I didn't know what that meant. So this was like 2014, 2015, 16. It's like big things are coming and a lot of people are going to get off the train before they happen. And it's true. I did not know at the time that my dad or his dad would be among them, or my mom's father either. But a lot of people have left the earth in the last many years. And also now we are arriving to the beginnings of like the new earth for those of us who have stayed. So, and what Helene, you were saying about being tired, I would say the same thing with my dad. Exhausted. Just, I can't handle another new thing. This was my world. That's it.
That's a beautiful way to reconcile, I guess. I can't imagine what suicide would be. It's extremely difficult to understand. And I really have a lot of compassion for both of you having gone through that with your loved ones. Um, so, Helene, I know this is one reason you do what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, what we both just described is also shows our faith in something greater than ourselves, in a plan, so to say, the natural unfolding of things in life. And yeah, I certainly feel like if I had cultivated the skills that I have now, maybe I could have helped her, but that's so egotistical. It's kind of selfish even to say that. I mean, so who am I, to play God in that way? But I do think that it's possible for us to reduce or even eliminate our suffering in this human life. And there are some ways to do that. And, it's the bondage that we have in our minds and in our hearts and in our bodies that we can really liberate ourselves from if we seek that.
What about you, Eric?
Yeah, I'm doing what I'm doing because of my relationship with my dad and my mom, but she's still here. And yeah, there is absolutely something bigger happening. Since his death, I have experienced myself like a transference of energy from his being to mine, for example, among other experiences. And I'm a pretty logical science kind of guy. So the fact that I've been experiencing for now the last, 7 years, some special spiritual energies, but then particularly in the grief experience subsequently, I'm excited that I'm not the full control, like I'm not the one in control of my life all the time, that there are things happening that I can get on board with, or I can resist. And if I resist them, then I'm the one that's going to suffer. And if I get on board, then everything's fine.
Oh, wow.
I also experienced a transference of energy. I've never heard anyone articulate it. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, yeah. It's weird. It's almost like when you die, you get to choose where you want to give your energy to, whoever's still alive. And you can give it away. So that's cool.
You think your father could choose where he left his energy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, in our case, there's nobody else to give it to but me, so I got it. But I can imagine in other situations, maybe you have multiple kids or friends or other family, but yeah.
Welcome to the talent segment of Diamond Bridges, with an intention to demonstrate how talent development facilitates a person's sense of purpose and dedication to the collective progress. On each episode, one of my guests is invited to exhibit their own natural, unique talent. Diamond Bridges is a platform for people of varying generations to build bridges with strong foundations rooted in kindness, understanding, and mindfulness. Eric, you've prepared a recording of yourself performing Chopin. I love it. First, tell us about the design of your home in Boulder. Helene visited you there and said that the architecture is strikingly designed around the piano.
Oh, actually, when we were pouring the foundation for this house, I did not have a floor plan that was conducive to have a big piano. I have not been playing in any serious capacity since I went off to college. But then I experienced a renaissance after my dad passed. This is related to the transference of energy. I mean, it really was an experience, and now I can play in a way that I haven't before. And so as we're pouring the foundation for the house, I was thinking, wait, where is the piano going to go? Like, what if I'm going to play piano in my adult years? Where's it going to go? So I actually flipped the layout last minute and put the kitchen and the living room sort of flipped. So now I have this room for this piano here, which is a good start for it.
And of course, that makes me very happy to hear, because I was your first piano teacher for several years.
Yes, and you taught me the discipline that is paramount.
Oh, and what prompted you to come back to mastering Chopin?
Very strange. So I was like in my room in the place I was renting at the time after my dad died, and I was grieving and I wasn't doing anything. And I was listening to Chopin because, of course, and I'm thinking, Chopin is like a sad guy, and his music is very like sad in a lot of the pieces, and it's so full. And I'm like, maybe there's a way for me to turn my sadness into like a fullness of expression. And so I started looking for documentaries online of Chopin, and I came across this documentary of his life that was hosted by this 30-something-year-old Jewish guy who played piano in his youth, stopped when he went to engineering school and college, and picked it up again in his 30s, and was now going on tour playing all the Chopin pieces. And I was like, well, that's strange, because you could say the same thing about me. And so I was listening to one particular Chopin piece, one of the nocturnes, and I was hearing it, and I was like, you know, I can hear it. I don't know why I can't play this. This is ridiculous. So I printed out the music, and I went downstairs, and all places that I had rented before I moved into this house here in Boulder all had pianos. So that was interesting. And I started playing it, and then I had this experience some days later where it's like my dad came to me and like endowed me with his energy to play better. And ever since then, I play better. And now I got all these Chopin pieces and Debussy and Beethoven. So now it's a real gift, because you always have yourself for the rest of your life. So it always makes sense for you to work on your own personal improvement, because you'll always have you. And so in the event that I might be alone forever, worst case, right? I will always have the music.
Let's watch now. This is the Chopin Polonaise in B flat major. That was awesome.
Chopin wrote that when he was 16. That's like one of his first pieces.
Now,
That's crazy.
was that posthumous? Did they discover
No,
that?
No, but it's from when he was 16. He wrote it as like a goodbye to a friend. And you think about the way that people were raised and what kind of life they're living and what kind of energy is flowing through them. And for him to know all this at 16 years old, I mean, that's all that they did at the
So
time. They
you
didn't
said
have social media. So
story is that he had lost a friend and he composed this after that.
I don't know if he lost a friend or if he was just saying bye, like see you later. But it's like, adieu.
So aside from designing your home around the piano, which by the way, that piano is gorgeous.
Yeah, but we have the same piano, don't we? S7?
I think we do. Is it a
Yeah,
7'6"? 7'6"?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you say your talent at the piano has shaped your sense of purpose?
Oh, in overall in my whole life or just now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, now.
now?
Well, no, you could, that's open-ended. You could talk about your
Hmm.
history.
Well, apparently music is a, another way of relating to life and to people than talking, for example. And uh, I enjoy talking with words and I enjoy writing, but music is something else that is a whole different experience altogether. And it still has patterns, just like language. Um, it's kind of amazing that somebody built this instrument out of nowhere and that these are the notes, even though these are not the only musical notes that exist in life, but these are the ones that you play in. And so um, my goal lately, getting back into it, is not to become a virtuoso, which I am not, but to be flexible and dexterous in all of the keys, in all of the music, so that I can play whatever as a vehicle for expression. So one of the things I do is teach music improv. I teach regular improv, but music improv is where people will make up a song on the spot, and I'll accompany them, and I'll make it up too. And it's fun. So in order to do that really well, you have to have the flexibility and the range to play in every key, every kind of style of music, and also be able to listen to what they're singing and follow along with them. And prior to this new period, you'll remember, Irene, that I did not know what I was playing. I just played, tried to play it perfectly and do okay and get the accolades, and that's it. But if you ask me what are these notes, I'm like, I don't know. So now I actually know all of the chords. I know exactly what I'm playing. I can start and stop in the middle of a piece, which I never could do. So I think it just speaks in general to you want to have a solid foundation for your expression. You want to really know what you're saying. You want to know what you're doing. You want to know what you're hearing and listening to. You don't want to just be doing it because of some external reason, like you want to get validated or you want to be heard. It doesn't do anything for you in the long run. You're only hurting yourself. So it's better to really approach any project that you do, anything of your own attention, with the discipline to really understand what you're doing.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, of course you would.
Thank you. I want to thank my viewing audience for joining me today. Thank you to my guests for taking the time and having this intimate talk with me. We can learn a lot from each other, our tribe, and I wish you both great success in all of your endeavors. See you next time on Diamond Bridges.